Good morning, everyone. My name is Gunisetty Krishna Jyoteesh. It's a privilege to present our work title Early Adoption of Two-Wheeler Electric Vehicles in India, a data-driven strategy for market segmentation. This study is joint work with Dr. I. Sundar Shivarao, Mr. Seetayya Narthu, and Dr. P.S. Brahmanandam. Today, I will walk you through the motivation, methodology, findings, and implications of our study. Coming to the abstract of our research paper, our research applies machine learning based clustering to identify early adopters of electric two wheelers in India. Using a dataset of more than 11,000 records, we derive customer segments that help inform product strategy, pricing, and marketing. Our findings show a year one revenue potential exceeding 4,500 crores for a new EV entrant when segmentation based strategy is applied. Market segmentation allows businesses to divide large, diverse consumer groups into actionable clusters. In the EV sector, segmentation is essential because adoption motivations vary significantly based on income, age, profession, usage patterns. Our aim is to guide EV startups towards strategic market entry through data driven segmentation. In the picture, we can see David and Ria, whereas Ria is a strategic analyst and David is a client to the company who wants to enter the electric vehicle market with a startup company focusing on the product which benefits his maximum in the early years. So the job of Ria is to perform a statistical analysis of the current scenario and provide David with actionable insights for his approach to build his startup to enter into the EV community in India. So, on what will be performing market segmentation analysis? So, we gathered two wheelers as the main target in the electric vehicle segment, which is why two wheelers account for more than 73% of the registered vehicles in India. This makes electric two wheelers the most impactful and scalable segment for early electrification. A precise segmentation approach helps manufacture design products and marketing strategies that resonate with early adopters. So, let us see the process of the market segmentation analysis. This slide lists the entire segmentation workflow. I will now explain each step in detail. The first step will be Fermi estimation, in which we quickly approximate the total addressable market using the first principle reasoning. We estimate the number of two wheelers in Tier 1 cities, project TV penetration, assume realistic adoption rates, and compute baseline revenue scenarios. This step ensures that later modeling efforts target a financially meaningful market. And this next step will be deciding whether to segment or not. Segmentation is only valuable if consumer diversity affects product preferences. We assess heterogeneity in income, age, profession, and usage patterns. We use frequent pattern matching, such as association mining techniques and all. If the market behaves uniformly, segmentation adds no value. But in the EV two wheeler sector, variation is extremely high, making segmentation essential. And the next step will be specifying the ideal target segment. Before clustering or applying any algorithm, we define what an ideal customer should look like from a business perspective. This includes income levels, willingness to finance, digital affinity, and the ability to adopt early. So, this creates a reference to compare real clusters against. The next step will be collecting data. So we gather data from government and public websites like MORTH, CEW, Niti Aayog, public surveys, and loan applicant datasets which are available on the internet without any affordable cost. So these features include age, gender distribution, income, education, spouse salary, and their behavior. Each variable contributes to understanding both economic readiness and behavioral inclination. And the next step will be exploring data. We analyze distributions, check missing values, detect outliers, and understand relationship between variables. This helps us identify which features need engineering or cleaning before modeling. Exploratory data analysis also reveals early insights such as age income correlations and commercial use patterns. And the next step will be extracting segments. We pre-process data using normalization and encoding. We apply k-means clustering and determine the optimal number of clusters using the elbow method and the Silhouette score. Three clusters are the basic in the k-means clustering. We have chosen k-means clustering because the data available with us is very low compared to using the advanced clustering algorithms such as DB-scan, Birch reduction, etc. So when we have data amount in less, so it is most preferable to use algorithms like k-means algorithm, which can predict the most performed results on our data set. And the next step will be profiling segments. We convert raw cluster outputs into human readable personas. This includes summarizing demographical traits, financial characteristics, behavioral indicators, and product expectations. Profiling makes clusters meaningful for business teams. And the next step will be selecting the target segment. We compare clusters using revenue potential, ease of acquisition, retention likelihood, and compatibility with product strategy. So we can derive the number of clusters as per the clustering algorithm, which help us for the business insights that the client requires. And the next step will be customizing the marketing mix. For each selected target, we define product, price, placement, and promotion strategies. Cluster. These these attributes are divided into clusters, and each cluster has its own interdependence and intradependence with the other clusters. And the last step will be evaluation and monitoring. Segmentation is not a one time task. We define KPIs, deploy dashboards, monitor cluster behavior, and retrain models as new sales and service data become available. These steps collectively create a structured data driven approach to market entry. This was the overall process of market segmentation analysis in a generalized manner. So, if we come to the strategic approach that we applied in this research, is the general architecture which you can see on the screen, in which we have divided it into three components, namely data collection, pre-processing, and the algorithm. Our pipeline consists of data collection, pre-processing, clustering, and finally mapping the analytical results to business strategy. This ensures that the output of machine learning translates smoothly into product development and marketing decisions. In the clustering algorithm, which plays a major role in this, is the k-means. We used k-means clustering because it is scalable, interpretable, and effective for numerical demographic datasets. We validated the number of clusters using the elbow method and the Silhouette coefficients, both of which indicated three optimal clusters which will be the right choice for this research. We can see the mathematical derivation of the k-means clustering algorithm on this slide, which works around the population and the sample means from the data. And we can also see it tries to minimize the error residuals between the clusters that are present in the data. And the next process will be we'll visualize the extracted and segments, in which we perform the profiling segments and also extracting segments. Based on the output of the k-means clustering, we have got three clusters in which we have named them as cluster 0 for young mid professionals, cluster 1 as mid-aged commercial users, and cluster 2 as young dual income households. So as we can see the results obtained from the data, in the cluster 0, the persons are of average age 32 and have 8.5 lakhs per annum income and dual income households and high digital affinity. So these clusters are divided based on the available data and the clustering algorithm applied. And we can see the number of data points by using the principal component analysis for a dimensionality reduction technique on the right side, which is in the representation, which derives the clusters present in the data based on their legends. So this PCA helps us to visualize the distribution of data in the amount of clusters. And coming to the insights that we have generated, so the selection of target segment, so it will be depending on these three attributes which we will go through now. First one will be market size and revenue potential. So in this we can see cluster 0 represents 40% of our sample with mean income of 8.5 lakhs, projected revenue of 10% uptake, and which accounts to a total of 0.96 crores. And the cluster 2 represents 33.3% and cluster 1 represents 26.7%. And the next attribute that we'll be working on is ease of acquisition and retention. Cluster 0 and Cluster 2 have dual incomes, making them easier to finance. They also skew younger, digitally fluent, lower customer acquisition costs via digital channels. Cluster 1 requires more traditional on ground dealer union programs, likely higher CAC relative to transactional size. And the third attribute we'll be measuring on is brand and product differentiation. Cluster 0 desires tech features, for example, app integration, OT updates, and trendy design high margin potential on premium variants. Cluster 0 seeks a Cluster 2 seeks a versatile family scooter, allowing a mid-tier product line which is suitable for middle class families which contribute most for the population in India. Cluster 1 demands no frills reliability, margins thin on entry level devices. So that is a cluster which we should focus on, which we may not get the expected amount of profit. In the results that we have obtained from the market segmentation analysis is for cluster 0, that is young professionals, the estimated sale of 4 lakhs unit at an average supposed profit of 70,000 rupees, yielding more than 1900 crores in revenue. This segment values comfort, utility, and affordability, making it ideal for mainstream adoption of family oriented EVs. And the cluster 1 is expected to contribute a more modest 53,400 units at a lower ASP of 50,000, generating approximately 267 crore in revenue. Due to price sensitivity and utilitarian in use cases, this cluster is positioned for long-term engagement via partnerships and financial support. So, as for the short-term goals of the company, they should focus more on the cluster 0 and 2, and for the long-term goals, they can consider the cluster 1, in which we can see less amount of profit in the early years. Summarizing all across all segments, the total year one revenue potential is projected at 4,557 crores approximately, assuming a conservative profit margin of 15%. The net estimated profit is approximately around 683 crores. So as in the results table, you can see the projected sales in the early years for the EV startup will be for the cluster 0, 2 and 1 ranking orderly, the units sold and the ASP price and revenue and the generated profit, and the last we can see the total profit that we can get by this market segmentation analysis. And so, but every algorithm does not have only benefits. So, we should see across its challenges also. So, the challenges that we face in this segmentation analysis are they include inconsistent data granularity, limitations in physiographic variables, mapping clusters to real world geographies, and EV infrastructure variability. These limitations guide our future enhancements. So, this purely depends on the availability of data and quality of data and the financial reports that we obtain publicly or by any private bank. So, the future scope of this research will be including the use of physiographical data, hybrid clustering models which are suitable for large amount of data, real-time dashboards and forecasting models to adapt segmentation dynamically over time. So these try to minimize the challenges that we have faced in this approach and make a way for the future enhancements in which we can get access by collaborating with any government NGO so that we can get accurate amount of data to perform our analysis. So, as we jump into the conclusion, data driven segmentation offers EV manufacturers a strategic advantage in market entry. By aligning products and marketing with the right customers, we accelerate both adoption and profitability. Future work will focus on including physiographic variables such as environmental consciousness and integrating real time sales feedback for adaptive segmentation. Thank you.